Hello, my fellow Nigerians. Hear what one of our own is saying, telling Nigerians about Tinubu's government. He says, Yorubanization of Tinubu's government. Nigeria's fate is now in Yoruba hands by Olu Fason. Shortly before the 2023 presidential election, I wrote a piece titled Yoruba Ronu. A Tinubu presidency would tarnish your race. The premise of that thoughtful and, in my view, patriotic intervention was threefold. First, Bola Tinubu's miasmic past was the antithesis of the honor, signaling Omoluabi ethos that Yorubas claim define them. His self-serving and feudalistic politics was entirely at odds with the Omoluabi core values. Second, Tinubu staked his presidential bid on Emi Lokan, it is my turn, but also on Yoruba Lokan, it is Yoruba's turn. Indeed, he said he was running for president to save the Yorubas. Third, despite Tinubu's deep character, flaws and divisive politics, some tribalistic Yoruba leaders abandoned the Omoluabi ethos and backed him simply because he is Yoruba. But the chickens have come home to roost, and the joke is not only on those Yoruba leaders. All Yorubas are vicariously liable for Tinubu's failure. Let's be clear. Less than 2 years in power, Tinubu is an unmitigated failure. Every aspect of Nigerians' political, economic, and social life has deteriorated under him. His so-called economic reforms, which even the IMF recently said are not working, have deepened poverty and misery in Nigeria and have decimated businesses, forcing the exit of several foreign ones. Recently, the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria said nearly 1.5 trillion naira worth of finished products were unsold in the first half of this year, a 357.6% increase from the first half of 2023 due to the precipitous decline of consumer purchasing power amid acute policy-driven inflation and cost of living crisis. But leaving aside Tinubu's policy blunders, another disturbing fact is that his government is entrenching state capture, utterly unconstrained by conflicts of interest. When former President Olusegun Obasanjo recently raised concerns about the state capture, the presidency responded, as it always does, with abuse and insults. Yet, truth be told, state capture, something Tinubu was reputed for in Lagos, both as governor and as a godfather, has become a defining feature of his presidency. The subject is so important that it deserves a column of its own, so let's leave that for another day. My focus here is another very important matter: Tinubu's deliberate mismanagement of Nigerians' diversity and utter disregard for the norms of equity, justice, and fairness that must underpin Nigeria's unity and stability. Tinubu ran for president by ruthlessly deploying the wedge issues of religion and ethnicity And in power, he doesn't only run the first Muslim or same-faith civilian presidency in Nigeria, but he also runs the most ethnicized government, Yorubanized at its core. Tinubu famously said in an interview with This Day newspaper during the Abacha era, "I don't believe in one Nigeria." Well, one must wonder whether deep down Tinubu now does, beyond fulfilling a self-interested ambition to rule the country. For how can any leader who truly care about Nigeria's unity flippantly stoke the two issues, religion and ethnicity, that can either unite or divide this fragile country? The Muslim presidency condemns Christianity to an inferior status by suggesting that no Christian is good enough to be vice president to a Muslim president in a country where Christians and Muslims each make up about half of the population. But like a Herod who, after killing James, went after Peter because he believed he could get away with it, Tinubu took the tolerance of Christian leaders on the Muslim ticket to mean he could extend his self-serving divisiveness to ethnicity by filling virtually all the critical positions in his government. No, Nigerian's government, with people from his ethnic group, the Yorubas. Recently, the vanguard communist, Dr. Ugoji Egbujo, called out the utter perversity of the Yorubanization of Tinubu's government in a column titled, "Is Tinubu Setting Scores?" He pointed out rightly that virtually all the great offices of state are occupied by Yorubas. Take the economic offices. A Yoruba is the CBN governor, Minister of Finance, Coordinating Minister of Economic, Minister of Blue Economy, Minister of Digital Economy, Minister of Solid Minerals, Minister of Trade, Industries, and Investment, Minister of Petroleum, Tinubu himself, Head of Bank of Industry, and Head of the Federal Inland Revenue Services, FIRS. In the security fields, a Yoruba is the Chief of Army Staff, Inspector General of Police, Head of DSS, Head of Immigration, and Head of Customs. Indeed, a Yoruba is Tinubu's Chief Protocol Officer, ADC, Chief Security Officer, and the Commander of Brigade and Gas. Of course, a Yoruba is the Attorney General and Minister of Justice and Head of EFCC, not to mention the Chief Justice of the Federation. Every conscienceable Yoruba must be appealed to the utterly Yorubanized appointments. To his credit, Afenifere, led by Chief Ayo Adebanjo, condemned Tinubu's outrageously lopsided appointments, describing them as a threat to age-long inter-ethnic relationship and peaceful coexistence in Nigeria. However, Chiefs Ruben Fasoroti and Olufalaye, who led a faction that supported Tinubu's presidential bid, have remained silent. Remember that Fasoroti had, in a letter, resigned and retired as Afenifere leader, but came out on the woodwork to reclaim the leadership and endorse Tinubu. Chief Falaye said, "How can a national leader go against candidates that hail from his part of the country?" Put simply, they based their stand on a Yoruba saying that ọmọ ẹni kì í ṣèdí bẹ̀bẹ̀rẹ̀ kí a fi ìlẹ̀kẹ̀ sí di ẹlòmíràn, meaning that even if your child's bottom is unfit, you won't put beads in the bottom of someone else's child, but endorsing your child to run a country of 230 million people and 370 ethnicity, despite his deep character flaws and integrity deficits, undermines the Omoluabi's echoes. During the campaign, Tinubu told the Yorubas he was running for their sakes. This election is yours. You will use it to liberate yourselves, he said, adding that they want to turn us into slaves. We are not slaves. The day was the not, but in power, Tinubu policies have turned ordinary Yorubas into economic slaves while enriching his Yoruba cronies. Yet, Yorubas can't escape vicarious blame for Tinubu's failure. By putting Nigeria's economy and security entirely in Yoruba's hand, Tinubu is saying the Yorubas are a superior race. If he fails, as current trends indicate, the Yorubas will be tarred with the same brush. My people, this is what we are saying. Hear what our people are saying in the comment section. This government is the worst in the history of Nigeria. Very tribalized and without any ideology. You can never blame a president who chooses those trusted to work with him, as long they are Nigerians. You don't expect Mr. President to work with a stranger who might have a political undertone to destroy or spy for oppositions. My brothers and sisters, this is what we are saying. In the comment section, you are free to say your opinion on this issue. Subscribe to this channel, share, love, and like. God bless Nigeria. Thanks and God bless. Amen.